what is Philly? Like, in your words, like, what makes Philly Philly?
Gritty, hard-nosed, passionate about their sports. So when we think about, I think iconic is a word that we use specifically as it pertains to, the sport that we use as our hook, which is basketball. So we know that we have a very, very deep and rich, basketball tradition and history to serve our young people here in the city of Philadelphia and the surrounding areas, and really build them up as positive students, athletes, and leaders.
Yeah, right. So, like, when you have such like a rich tradition of sport and you have such a gritty community, like, how does that interact with the reality that kids here in Black and brown communities don't participate at the same level?
Stakeholders that are really in the business of providing service to our young people realize that, we have to do better with some of our systems and some of our structures in our city, whether it's our school systems, whether it's our out-of-school time programs, whether it's our rec centers. Systematically, I think all stakeholders really realize that we all have to approve, as the adults that are facilitating and initiating and serving our young people through these programs. So I think it is absolutely a systematic and structural thing.
Right. So, like, what do you think are some solutions, like, to overcoming those structural barriers?
I think one of the things that we've seen in our city as a great value add, that it specifically as it pertains to, sports-based youth development, is the work that the Philadelphia Youth Sports Collaborative has done to lift up the whole idea and the whole thought process around the value of sports. Because I think prior to this collaborative, I come from the education space, and when I was first introduced to sports-based youth development, I didn't even know what the concept was. These are educators that are really essentially using the fields and the courts as their classroom, right. And we're still educating and developing young people through sports. So I think when the leaders in our city understood the value of sports, that went a long way. So I think now what we're starting to see is city leaders also understanding and seeing the value of sports, which I think have been huge for our city. Is we now have people who have seat on the city council who also serve as high school basketball coaches in our city. So when you see that commitment of the leaders in our city, I think that has helped us in a tremendous way to kind of move the needle forward as it pertains to the value of sports and the development that it can add to a young person's life.